Hi, I'm Kenny Gioia. Welcome to another one of my tutorials. In this video series, we're going to learn how to record and produce your band in Reaper. And this is part 14 of that series. Next, we're going to add some overdubs to complete our song arrangement. We're going to start off with a keyboard overdub. Now, if you remember earlier, I mentioned that my keyboard is plugged into inputs 1 and 2. So you can see that here. Now, just like our bass, if you have an interface with 1/4-inch inputs for instruments, you could just plug it right in. Otherwise, on my interface, I'm going to use a direct box. In this case, it's a stereo keyboard, so I'm going to use 2 direct boxes, or 1 stereo one, and patch it into 1 and 2 on my interface. Now we'll go back to Reaper, go to our Preferences, under the Options menu, right down here, we'll go to the Audio Preferences, and go to our Inputs, and choose the input channel names. And before we created from 3 to 12, so let's add a few more, and let's name them Keyboard Left, which is input 1, and Keyboard Right, which is input 2. And let's drag them up to here, so our keyboards are 1 and 2. So now let's create another track for our keyboards. Let's put it after the bass track. We'll select this one, insert a new track, and we'll name this Keys. Let's give it a color. Something like this should work. And we'll set our inputs to be stereo, keyboards left and right. Then we'll bring up our preamps for 1 and 2 equally. Let's open our mixer, put the track into record, and have the keyboard player play. Once again, it's a bit too loud, so let's bring down input 1 and 2. That looks a lot better. Now let's add some EQ to it, right here on the track. We'll choose the Reaper EQ again, re-EQ. And let's start off rolling off the low end, because it's a bit too deep. So use a high pass. Adjust the bandwidth to be natural, and bring it up to roll off the low end. And now let's bring up some top end to make it sound a bit brighter or cut more. So we'll use a high shelving. Let's hear before and after. It just cuts a bit more. Now let's add some reverb so it sounds more distant or more live. So we'll send the routing for this track to the vocal reverb. So we can use it again. Let's start low and bring it up. About there feels good. It's now ready to record it with the rest of the tracks. So let's turn on our click track, go back to the beginning, go into record, and record the keyboard part. Now to save time, we're not going to go through the whole song right now. We'll play through the intro and then I'll fade it out. We'll play back the whole thing a bit later.
17, he waited long enough, packed his dreams and all his stuff, and headed north up 65. Nothing more than a couple of bucks, his guitar in the bed of his truck. He was scared but so alive, with 100 reasons for turning back, but he couldn't see none of that through the stars in his eyes. Small town Alabama boy, headed for the lights and noise, the city limit signs of anywhere. Anywhere. Stone's throw from the interstate, fell asleep and sealed his fate when he crossed two yellow lines.
So we finished recording the keyboard track. The next thing I want to do is double the acoustic guitar, so we can create a stereo effect with the original one panned to the left and the new one panned to the right. So let's go to the acoustic guitar track and select it, right-click it, and duplicate the track. So that'll duplicate the track, but it also duplicates the settings to this track, including the effects. This is what we had on the first acoustic guitar, and the input we chose will also be set up so we can record another acoustic guitar track. But it also duplicated the audio, and we don't want that. So if we double click the track, it selects it, but because it's grouped, it's going to select all of them. So let's turn off the option we turned on before. If we go here and right click, turn off, selecting one item selects the group. Then we can double click the duplicated track, and it just selects that audio. So now we can delete that, and we still have the old one. We'll pan the new one to the right, and the old one now hard left. Let's turn the click back on. Let's go to our mixer. Here's the new track, so put it in record. Let's rename it acoustic guitar right, and let's rename this one acoustic guitar left. So now we're going to record and double this track. And like the last time, we're just going to use the click in the beginning, and then I'll turn it off. And I'm also going to fade this out after a bit. We'll listen to the whole thing a bit later. So let's go into record.
"17, he waited long enough, packed his dreams and all his stuff, headed north up 65. Nothing more than a couple of bucks, his guitar in the bed of his truck. He was scared but so alive, with 100 reasons for turning back, but he couldn't see none of that through the stars in his eyes. Small town Alabama boy, headed for the lights and noise, the city limit signs of anywhere. Anywhere.
So here's the doubled acoustic guitar. Now I want to do a similar thing for electric guitar. We're not going to double the part, but we'll create a call and response that repeats the first guitar on another track and in a different speaker. So once again, we'll select this track and duplicate it. Let's get rid of the audio. Again, we have the same EQ on this track and the effects as well, the reverb and the long delay. and the input set up the same way for this track with the electric guitar. So now let's pan this track to the other side, but not fully. This one's about 55% to the right, so we'll go 55% to the left and put it in record. Now we're not going to do the whole song, just certain sections. So let's just punch in on those parts of the song. We'll start in the first chorus right here and go into record.
Of anywhere, anywhere. Stone's throw from the interstate, he fell asleep and sealed his fate when he crossed 2 yellow lines.
Let's do the same thing in the next chorus. Right over here.
Anywhere. Anywhere. Well, we shared that room when I came to town. Sometimes I'd hear him rattling around, little noises in the dark. Late at night when I'd sing my songs, swear I could hear him singing right along, playing his guitar. Last night I opened my guitar case, found some words on a pale white page that weren't written in my hand, and this song fell out in a minute flat. Words and music just like that, ghost written by a dead man. And he says this one.
Just these two sections, from the second chorus to the last verse and the first chorus. That's all we need for this part. So in the next video, we're going to add some mandolin and some pedal steel to these tracks. Let's go.